2 hours ago, Luis Elizondo tweeted out, "Contact your representatives," based upon a development that has occurred basically last night and has been exploding on UFO Twitter and is the talk of the town. Now, what I'm going to do with this video is I'm going to provide you with relevant tweets informing you of what has occurred, because that will be the most direct way to bring you up to speed. And it's so early in this development that giving my own commentary, I think, would not be all that helpful. I think a short and sweet video on what has occurred is probably the best approach. Let's go! From Dean Johnson, breaking. As Congress debates, memo by Pentagon number 2 says USD for Intelligence and Security will lead new Airborne Object Identification and Management Synchronization Group, AOIMSG, to assess UAP within special use airspace. Commentary later. Dean follows up on that tweet. With timing seemed intended to undercut the Gillibrand Amendment, the Pentagon touts a slight bureaucratic elevation for investigation of UAP, if in special use airspace, far removed from the forceful mandates and ample resources proposed in the Gillibrand Amendment. And just 2 hours ago, literally, Luis Elizondo comments on this development on Twitter. Important update. Before anyone gets too excited about the recent Pentagon announcement of a new UAP group, please consider the following. A. USDI is precisely the same organization that has underplayed and tried to kill the UAP effort for years. 2B. USDI is an oversight organization and non-operational. C. Nowhere is there a requirement to provide unclassified findings to Congress or work with our international partners. 3. Given that elements still exist in the Pentagon who are actively underplaying the significance of this topic, this is akin to giving an alcoholic the key and control to the liquor cabinet. 4. If you want to maintain UAP UFO secrecy, this is exactly how to do it. 5. This is a direct and blatant attempt to circumvent and undermine the Senate. At Senator Gillibrand, Senator Rubio Press, Representative Ruben Gallego, Martin Heinrich, Representative Tim Burchett, and others. Please, please, please contact your representatives and let them know this is unacceptable and not in the best interest of the American people. The USDI is the one single office that has continuously lied about this topic and persecuted whistleblowers. Dean Johnson comments on Elizondo's tweets. I see that Lou Elizondo has arrived to offer a critique of Deputy Secretary of Defense Kathleen Hicks' new UAP scheme announced yesterday, and to contrast it with the Gillibrand Amendment that is currently in end-stage negotiations on Capitol Hill. Senior national correspondent of Politico, Brian Bender, gets into the melee. Tweets by Brian Bender, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, Wednesday, November 24th, 2021. Spoke to Ruben Gallego this morning about the memo last night from @DepSecDef memo, creating a new Pentagon office to study UAPs. He maintains it is a sign that the issue is being taken more seriously, but it does not obviate the need for legislation to provide more authorities and resources and direction for the government to actively collect and analyze these reports. He said he spoke to Senator Gillibrand this morning about their proposal in the House and Senate versions of the National Defense Authorization Act, and they agreed to work together to get some form of their legislation into the final bill in December. He highlighted that her amendment has more teeth, including when it comes to access to resources to do the job, and he supports that. Journalist Jazz Shaw opines, still haven't gotten an answer from the DoD, but I don't think it's necessarily a turf war. But it's concerning that they are saying the new office would immediately absorb the duties of the UAPTF. Surely they are aware of Gillibrand's amendment. Dean Johnson responds, they are hyper aware of it. Hicks' memo was released yesterday at moment exquisitely calculated to maximize chances of derailing negotiations over Gillibrand Rubio. But I wouldn't go so far as to say that AOIMSG really stands for an office intended mainly to stop Gillibrand. There you have it, folks. Everything is in flux, but I will say this. With this development of the institution of the AOIMSG, I relate it to maybe a little serving of pudding. Not that there's anything wrong with pudding. I can enjoy a little cup of pudding. But the Gillibrand Amendment is like the $150 Vegas buffet, where you spend about an hour getting a food coma and really getting your money's worth and enjoying life, as it were. The Gillibrand Amendment comprises, among other things, that is the requesting of the following information. In other words, it just has a lot more teeth. The information on the capturing and exploitation of UAP, information on medical effects that people have had encountering UAP, producing an advisory committee. I think it's called, what is it called? The Anomaly and Transmedium Advisory Committee, something like that, with civilian scientists who will have to get security clearances to assist with the ASTRO. ASTRO stands for Anomaly, Surveillance, Tracking, and Resolution Office, which is what we want, which is what the Gillibrand-Rubio Amendment is calling for. The Gillibrand-Rubio Amendment is also calling for the Congress to get information on incursions into nuclear facilities, which UFO history is replete of those kinds of incidences. And further, the Gillibrand-Rubio Amendment calls for, I think it's yearly reports, unclassified, so that us plebeians can learn a little bit about our universe instead of this information being sequestered away for only a select few who aren't even elected, by the way, and sit around in their little offices engaging this subject and leaving us out of the picture. That is not acceptable. That is not a free society, and tyranny will not reign. The will of the people will be respected, will be listened to, or we can start voting people out of office, and that's just the way it goes. And as far as I understand, Representative Gillibrand has her hands on the purse string. So I hope that the intelligence community and the military community that are involved in this cooperate with the Congress so that we, the people, can be part of this equation, and so that the Congress gets all of the briefings they need on this subject. What is going on? Is it a national security issue, etc.? There should be oversight. This should not be an issue that is sequestered away and kept out of the purview of those that need to be read in on it, such as our Congress and various people in our intelligence community and in military, such as generals and so forth. So everything is in flux, and this is interesting times. And I'm hopeful that if you live in the United States, you will contact your representatives telling them that you want to maintain the Gillibrand-Rubio Amendment because it has more teeth, and you don't want it to be compromised or undermined by any other developments that may occur or may be attempted by anyone in the Department of Defense. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd enjoy this video, please do not forget to subscribe. And if you'd like to support this channel, you can check out my merch shop where I sell t-shirts. You can become a patron. You can become a YouTube member. You could even give me a one-time donation. All of those opportunities are in the description below where the links are provided. Or you can just slap a like on this bad boy and I will appreciate it so much. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you, seeing you, seeing you, seeing you, seeing you, seeing you in the next episode. Special thanks to all YouTube members, patrons, those that have bought merch, those that have given me a one-time donation. I couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next episode.